Hello everyone, welcome to Finnish Future webinar. I'm Tammy, an events coordinator at Finnish Future, and you're also one of the hosts of our webinar today. Now I will share the screen with you guys to talk about our topic today and go through the agenda to share with you all the things that we have. Now, I'm sorry, a technical stuff, but just 1 second. Okay, our topic today is what makes Finnish education so good. And now I'm going to go through to the agenda today. First of all, I will talk a little bit about Finnish Future, what we are doing, how we establish, and after that, we will have a great speech of Ms. Raisa Hakala. The topic is Finnish education, what makes it different. And after that, we will have a student, one of our students who are living in Finland right now. She will share with us the life of a foreign student in Finland. And after that, I will talk with you guys about our upcoming events as Finnish Future. And the last but not least, we will have the Q&A section. Now, I'll go to introduce with you about Finnish Future. Finnish Future was established in 2020 with the mission of following the Triple E model, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and education. Oh, I heard that there's somebody mute, so please help me to mute your microphone to make sure that we are not distracted by any sound or something. Thank you. Oops. So back to Finnish Future. Now we are mostly focusing on education. We connect students with Finland by teaching Finnish and support students in their home country and Finland as well. So that's a brief introduction of Finnish Future. And what's about Finland? As you may notice, I've kept talking about this country from the beginning. So shall we turn into figuring out this country, Finland? As you can see here, Finland is in Scandinavia. Regional neighbors include Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland. The capital of city of Finland is Helsinki. And the official languages of Finland is Finnish, of course, and Swedish as well. Their population is about 5.5 million. And one of the coolest fact of Finland, I think, is they have very 4 clear seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And as you can see here, a Santa Claus, which is tell us the fact that the origin of Santa Claus in Finland. For me, it's really interesting. Next, Finland is also known as the land of 1,000 lakes. Finland has almost 190,000 lakes, more than like 75 of Finland's land area is covered by forest. And again, one of the cool facts of Finland is that for the 6th year in a row, Finland has been named the happiest country in the world until 2023. That is like a lot of big facts about Finland right now. Now I think this time for us to move to the topic today. What makes Finnish education so good? Why it's so different? We have Raisa here, one of our head of education as Finnish Future. She has over 10 years working in Finland education. So I think she is one of the best of our guest speakers today to tell you guys about her experience working with students, teachers, and almost of that is a Finnish education. Raisa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm ready to go. You can stop the screen sharing, please.
Okay. Now you can go.
Yes. So, hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me well, and greetings from sunny Helsinki. I chose this spot today. I'm here in Helsinki for a business trip. We are meeting some people around here this evening. So that's why I'm taking this spot now to tell what makes Finnish education so good. So I actually wanted to share with you a little bit about myself first, and through my story as well, and what I have learned about Finnish education. So firstly, Tammy was very nice telling me that I have, telling you guys that I have over 10 years experience working in this. I have actually almost 20 years, so I'm not that young anymore. I would have only 20 years, only 10 years. But so I have worked as a Finnish language teacher almost 2 decades already. The past 6-7 years, I have been working as head of education or as a leader in companies that mainly teach Finnish as a second language. A bit more than 10 years back, we made a decision with my husband to move out of Finland. And when we moved out of Finland, we had that time 2 boys. And when we moved outside of Finland, of course, one of the biggest questions was the education. We were thinking that we will come back to Finland when they start school. They were very small that time. My eldest was only 2 years old. We didn't come back. We decided to stay. We first moved to China. Then after that, we have been living in Beijing, Shenzhen, Taipei, and then in the UK. And currently we live in Sweden. What I learned during this time that we have been living abroad was that, yes, there are good schools all over the world. But, and there is a big but, that when we were in China, or even when we went to the UK, we had to really think that which one is the best school for our kids. And it meant in many places that the school was crazily expensive. We had to pay a lot of money for the best schools. In the UK, we had to decide if we wanted to put our kids into good public school, we had to decide where to live. It was postal code shopping. But it's not very easy to find always a house based on where is the good school nearby. In the UK, when our kids went to private school, which was crazily expensive, I don't even want to think about all that money, that how much we have spent for the education, which was good, like I said. I realized also something when I was looking at the parents and the families that were around. Our kids' friends had famous football players as their father. They had lawyers, they had doctors, they had very well educated people, or in other words, sometimes also rich. And it came down to me as well. I started to think about my own background. My father was a bus driver. I think there is a bus going past that is actually going to my hometown because it's from that place. My father was a bus driver. And when I was 7 years old, he got severely ill. And after that, he couldn't go back to his daily job. Someone had to make living for the family. So my mother, who had been home until that time or doing some part-time jobs, had to find a job. And she went to work in a hospital kitchen to assist So kitchen assistant could be maybe the right way to express it. And when I have been in these other countries, I have been thinking about my background and what this wonderful country and the parliament house that is behind me has offered, because I have done 2 master's degrees in Finland, and I'm doing my PhD in 3rd university at the moment in Finland. I haven't paid anything for my learning. I haven't paid anything for the universities. In which other country really you could do this, that a daughter of a bus driver and kitchen assistant could make 2 master degrees and PhD? At least not in the UK, for sure. So one thing that I started to really appreciate in Finnish education system is the equality. Equality that it only takes not necessarily the money, but it takes also your brain. If you want to do something, then it is possible in Finland. On this other side, there, this funny looking building, that is library, which is also huge, extensive libraries, huge network in Finland of libraries where you can get all kinds of books that you wish to read. And like this one, it's looking really good. There's a lot of possibilities that you can do for your learning. In Finland, there is no private school system. So in short, what that means is that the rich people have to take care that the schools, every school is a good school. If we lived in Finland, the best school for my kids would be the school next to our home. So definitely the equality is one thing. The second thing that I learned what makes Finnish education so good is equity. So not only the equality, but equity, meaning that when it comes to evaluation, you don't need to be, how should I put it? You don't need to be good in everything. We need to find the one thing that you are good at, or 2 things. There is a old saying that if you are good in tennis, people, and bad in math, people will hire a math teacher, a math tutor, because they are so bad in maths. Whereas they should hire a tennis teacher and make that skill even better. And this is something that I have cherished and what I've learned as a teacher as well. So what it takes for people to start believing in themselves is that we take what they are good at, what they are strong at, and we make that part even stronger. So that makes also the parts that we are not so good at, it makes them come like with it, after it. And the last thing that makes Finnish education, so equality, equity, and the last thing definitely is educating for the future. So I don't know at this moment, this is Finnish parliament, and I think democracy and everything, the freedom that we have in Finland and the human rights and that kind of things, it all comes down, of course, for the democracy and how things work as a society. But as well, we can't predict the future. It can make us uncertain as well. But if we think about education, I don't know in what kind of world my kids will live when they grow up. I don't know what kind of professions are in that world when they are adults. When I was young and I got my first driver's license, there was no Google Maps. So when I wanted to go to city next by to my hometown, which I wasn't very familiar of, I had to look at the maps several times. I asked my friends how to get there, which is the street, where to turn, and I went through it so many times. Now I have all the information just one click away. What becomes more important at that point is if we again look at this library over there and the information that is inside the library, the information that is inside when we open our phone, we have access to all the information in the world. What we need to do is to find the right information. We need to separate what is not true, what is just someone anticipating something, which is really proven facts. And we need to know not only that, but also how do we implement that information to our daily life. So what we actually need is not only about the knowledge. We need to learn the skills. And in that, Finland has been ranking #1, teaching the future skills for young people. Now, this is, in my opinion, what makes Finnish education so good. Now you may ask, because I mentioned that I live in Sweden. Sweden is very close to Finland. It is very similar to Finland, so I feel almost like I'm home. They don't even ask in the border anything when we cross the border. So many people have asked that, when are you coming back to Finland, or are you coming back to Finland? And I'm usually saying that, yes, we are coming back to Finland when our kids go to university, because then we are out of the money and they should start learning for free for once. I don't know. There are good universities in Sweden as well. But for me, it has been a huge importance. Sometimes you need to go far to see what is near. It's so important for me to celebrate everything that we have in Finland and to show people that there is the possibility to come and enjoy this, everything that we have. There is only one thing you need to do, and that is to learn the language. So when it comes about the language, I'm sure that Anna can share here, or T can share more her experiences, how it has been with the Finnish language. Finnish language sometimes has been said that it's one of the most difficult languages in the world. It is said that if you speak Finnish language, it is like a superpower. I don't know about that. I don't think that, I think it's only a myth that we can break. Finnish is very logical language. You just need to understand the logics behind it. And also the level that is required to apply to Finnish high schools or to Finnish vocational schools, it is very much possible to achieve. During my career, these almost 2 decades that I have been teaching Finnish, there's thousands of people, I think, I haven't counted. I can't recall, maybe only maximum 5, maximum people with like counting in one hand fingers that I remember that didn't learn Finnish language. Everyone else, yes, they learned and they spoke Finnish. So it is very different, and it doesn't come without work. Yes, your child or yourself, if you decide that, yes, this is something for me, yes, you need to work hard for the language. But on the other hand, if there is something like this which you will achieve coming to Finland, I would think that it's worth it for sure. So that will be it from my side. I will show another way of Helsinki. Still, it's very beautiful, nice day here in Helsinki. And this is the main street of Helsinki. It is 4 p.m., so it is rush hour. But I'm sure that where you are located at the moment, it seems like there's barely no cars, which is also good side of Finland. I would say that there is no rush hour, really. After seeing the rush hour in Beijing, we don't have a rush hour. You are always there when it's time. So thank you on my side. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have in the end. And I'm very happy to give turn to Tammy and then furthermore to Anna.
Yeah, thank you, Raisa. Thank you for your speech. After sharing, I can feel it about Finnish education, not only about how it's different, but also I can like see a little bit about Finland tourism and the atmospheres there. Now, it's time to go through to a student perspective. We just listened about Finnish education through a teacher. What about a student who are living and learning in Finland right now? Welcome Anthi, who is one of our students in Finland right now. She will share with us how she's learning in Finland and what made her an interest about this education. Thi, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. I will share with the screen for you now. Okay. Can you see it?
Mm,
You see it?
not anymore.
Okay. You should see it now.
Yes.
Okay. Yay.
Okay, but I think there's some. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Just leave it there. Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. So my name is T or Anna. T is my real name, and Anna is what people call me in my school in Finland. I'm 18 years old this year. I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. This is the biggest cities in the whole Vietnam. Um, and Vietnam is in the Southeast Asia, also for your information. And I started studying in Finland from August 2021, which is I'm with the first generation of Finance Future program. And we have a total of 7 Vietnamese students and 8 Uzbekistan students in our year. And currently I'm studying I'm going to my 3rd year, my last year in Manta High School in Finland. Yes, this is from some basic information for me. And today I'm going to talk about more, I think like Rise kind of like cover all these like general idea and perspective about Finnish education. So I think I'm gonna talk more like in practical stuff, like what is happening in Finnish high school and what's it like, what's the school life and everything. So I hope you can get some good point of views from me. Okay, let's go. First of all, we can look at a school timetable, and this is gonna tell us a lot about Finnish high school, which I'm gonna elaborate more. So the first timetable here that you can see, which yes, here. So this is like period 5 of my timetable. So it was actually 1 year for my school. It depends on the school, so they can have 5 periods or 6 periods. And my school, they have 6 periods. So this is like almost the last period of my school of the previous year. And one period lasts for around 1 to 1.5 months. And after each period, we're gonna have a mock test. So like a test for each subject that we take during the previous period. So you take a subject and you have a test for it. So not for every subject. So only for the subjects that you just learned. Okay, let's start there. and this is like a period 5. This is how the timetable looks like. But firstly, I'm gonna go through the whole system here. Like, what does it look like that? How is it like digital and stuff? So I think that what Raja also like talk a little bit about is that everything in our school right now in high school is digitalized. So from the school book, um, the tests and the timetables here, the information, like the way the mean that the teachers communicate with parents and students are all digitalized. So for we gonna all each of the students will receive a laptop from the school for free. You will not own it. You have to take it back to the school after you graduated, but you're gonna have that laptop for you to keep it for the whole years that you were in high school. And every books, every test gonna be done on the on will be shown on the laptop, and the school will order the online books for you, so you won't have to pay for any of the books. So yeah, they are all digitalized. And also this platform here where I can see and check my period, my calendars, my school schedule, are also on an app that we have for every student. So this will show our school calendars, our school schedule, school timetable, and also if there's any like notification from the school, anything that the principal wants to communicate with us, and also the communication between the teacher and the students will be done via this app. So everything is digitalized. Yes. And here you can see the subjects here. So there's going to be subject in the school. I'm sorry, but can Clara or can you mute, please? I think you're not muted. Okay, that's fine. We just, no, not yet here. Back, please. Thank you. Okay. And this is the period 6 of my schedules. Can you see here? And there are the difference between, the blank space and the subjects and everything, right? So basically, we have for the subjects, okay, let's start there. We have mandatory courses and optional courses. So in every subject, there are going to be mandatory courses that you have to take at least. So for example, for physics, there's going to be one course. So let's say course number 1 that you have to take. Everyone has to take it. And chemistry, one course. But then after that, there's going to be more course, like 5 to 6 or 10, 11, 12 optional courses that if you are interested in that specific subject, you can take more courses on that. Okay. So for example, me personally, I am not interested in any of the scientific subjects. For example, chemistry, biology, physics. I'm not vibing with these. I'm not working well with them. So I just take the mandatory courses and then I just drop them. And it's okay because I'm gonna take more on the courses that I'm interested in. For example, social study, history, psychology, philosophy, etc. So yes. And okay, so one course is gonna be equal to one topic of the subject. So for example, the first courses of history can be about like an overall history of the word. The second one can be about the word wars. So World War I, World War II, and the other like wars or like conflicts or situation in the word. And the third course can be about Finnish history. The fourth course can be about Asian history, ancient history, and etc. So you get what I mean. Like each course is each topic. So you just get the courses, any courses that you want to study, then you can just get it. Yeah, and there's going to be one teacher in the school, which we call in Finland oppo. She's going to be the one who arrange with us, like discuss with us which course should we take and which course can the school provide, and then we can arrange the schedule together with her, and she will advise us through like personally through every period and every school year. Yes, and usually at the end of the oh yeah, and just look at on this timetable here, because see there's some playing spots which varies through different periods, and they are the free times that we have. So if we don't have each blocks here, that each blocks here is one of the like lesson time which lasts for 45 minutes, and if we don't have them, then we have free time. So you can basically do whatever you want. You can go home, you can stay at the library, blah, blah, blah. So these are just, yeah, like free time, basically. And for example, here, if you look at this period 6 here, my schedule here, I have the EN stands for English. The RA stands for Ranska in Finnish, which means French. So I'm taking French. I have MA here, which means the math. And LE means liikunta, which means PE. And also Oppo, so the course with the with the Oppo women in our school, the teacher in our school, who helps us arrange everything for next year. So yeah, so these are about the school stuff, the timetable, what is going in the school. And next up, I'm gonna say a bit about some interesting activities and some interesting courses in the school. So here, yes, next slide, please. Thank you. There's some pictures here, so you can see. So first of all, there's the first pictures on the right. Okay, yes. Yeah, so you see here, there's the head of something. So excuse me, I am not an artist person, so I tried my best, but that is one of the products that I made in the art class. And that course I take was like doing these I don't remember the word in English, but kind of like these, like put the kind of like cook these until like a certain shape, and like doing these things. And then there's a drawing class too. So firstly, on art class, so it has to make this clear first that all the courses, even if there's like PE, art, or music class, they are all like taken into consideration and taken like seriously as normal. So there will be points, and people gonna like consider that like as serious as the other subjects. So not like, for example, in Vietnam, it's not just like a fun subjects that you can be in or you cannot be in, or it's not like just like that you're past the course, but here they just value it the same as the other subjects. And there are also special programs for those who want to study professionally in music and in art or in PE. So at least in our school, I have seen already people doing they call like Hua, which is like a name for the sport line, which they can like the people, my friends who took it, they spend most of their time doing sports and trainings and stuff, and they get the points from the school, and they kind of like they can graduate with these points. So they focus just on PE, and they are required to do only mandatory courses in other subjects. And or for example, music, they're just being like one girl from my school graduated in music like this previous spring, and she did a music performance in front of our school as like one of the requirements to graduate in the music line. So, and she was playing the cello. So it was very cool for you if you are interested in doing like these kind of like artist lines, then you can. Yes, so we try different thing in art class and also different thing in the music class. So you can you can sing or you can play instrument. You can ask the teacher to kind of like teach you how to do it. And also in PE class, we do different sport every day, almost every single week that we have sport. So I have tried like almost all of the sport that that exist in this earth. So I tried all the sport inside the house, basketball, football, floorball. In Finland, they have that floorball thing, and etc. And then for winter, we have a like a autumn course and a winter course. And in this previous winter course I just had the previous year, then we did the skiing thing that you see here on the picture on the right. I went skiing with the two girls from my generation, from my class. And we also do like some rowing the boat, rowing the boat. Yes, on the pictures on the left there, with my friends during the autumn course. And we even went for like into the forest to go for a walk and grill some sausage and just chill there. So yeah, we get to try different sports and different activities in the PE class too. And we also have school trips, which we go like 1 or twice per year to different cities, different activities around Finland. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like for these fun activities, then our school are always open and ready for us to participate in. So yeah, I think that is for these interesting activities. I don't have a slide for this part, but since Raisa just spoke about it, so I can go like quickly through it. So that's about Finnish. So I have to be honest, Finnish is not it's not a hard language, like not a like super hard language, but it's not an easy one. So it takes effort, like Raisa said also. It takes effort for you to learn it. But Finnish is a language where it gets very difficult at first, but it gets easier and easier the more you learn. So you just need to understand the structure, the basic structure and grammar of Finnish. And then she will just push, and everything is gonna be like repeat itself, and a bit of and have a little bit of upgrading to it, and then it will get easier and easier. So that's the thing about Finnish. So you just have to push yourself really hard when you just first learn Finnish, the basic grammar stuff, and then you push yourself really hard to when you just went to Finland, and to kind of like get used to the environment there, and become familiar with the environment in Finland, and actually use Finnish. And personally, for myself, for example, when I just came to Finland, I forced myself that I'm gonna have to use Finnish 100% of my time. So I talk to my friends in Finnish, although they want to talk back to me in English. I'm like, no, please tell me in like slow Finnish, because I want to practice this. Even though I feel at first a bit like left out, since sometimes they speak really fast and I cannot understand, but I forced them to speak to me in Finnish. And then I spoke Finnish also to the two Vietnamese girls that you see here. They are the Vietnamese girl who are in the same class as mine, but I spoke to them in Finnish also. Although it's very comfortable to speak in our like mother tongue, but I'm just like, okay, we just have to do this. And then yeah, I just forced myself. It was very hard at first. It was confusing. It was not uncomfortable, but you just know that you have to do this and you have to push yourself through it. So again, this is not easy, but it is not impossible, because I can consider Finnish as my second language. Sometimes I even feel more comfortable using it compared to English, which I have learned since since second grade in elementary school. So yeah, I just say that if you really want to do this, if you really want to go to Finland, you want to experience all this, you are motivated, then why not? Then just shoot for it. But just keep in mind that it's gonna require hard work. So just don't let yourself lay back and chill too much. Yeah, I think that's it for my part. If you come any questions, then just let me know during the question and answer part of it. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope that gives you some useful information.
Thank you, Fee, for your speech. I think it's great, interesting experience of you in Finland. I think it's time for us to have the Q&A section. Actually, I arranged the agenda for the upcoming events, but I think it will be better for us to go through the Q&A section first, and I will left it one at the end of our webinar today. Now it's time for you to ask Raisa and T about their experience, or anything that you want to have please raise your hand to ask Raisa and T. I will help you to unmute and ask directly the question to them. We will have about 5 questions for you to ask Raisa and T. Raisa and T, are you there?
Yes, I am here at the moment. Hopefully it's not too noisy. Maybe you can see in the background, it should be beautiful here. I'm at the railway station. There is a nice restaurant and I'm here with Janna, Jani here as well. So I hope I can answer the questions. I already saw some questions in the chat and I can reply to them as well.
Yes, actually, I just saw some people raise their hand, actually. But yeah. Amy, yes, I will ask you to unmute now. Amika Oti, I'm sorry, I'm not sure that I'm reading your name right.
Hello.
Yes.
My question is, good afternoon. My question is, can people from Africa apply for this vocational skill?
Yes, definitely. Of course. So there is no restrictions about which countries and where people can apply from. So definitely you can apply from any continent, any country, as long as you speak Finnish, or also the other official language that we have at the moment is Swedish. So if you speak those languages, definitely you can apply.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go through by the order. Now for Nokukaya, you can ask either Raisa or Fee right now.
Hi, good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I am asking on behalf of my daughters. We're currently living here in South Africa, and I want them to go and study in Finland. So I've been looking for opportunities for them, how they can, if I don't accompany them, as 2 of them, is it how I don't know how I can put this question. How convenient would it be for them to live on their own if there is boarding school? And how can I get them? We've been trying to learn Finnish through YouTube and Duolingo, but we're not getting headway. So I wondered maybe if they can enroll in a Finnish class. If there is a possibility, if I can pose that question for Raija, if she can be able to help in that question. And what are the preparation I, as a parent, should I prepare for my daughters to be ready? Because they are very much into PE. The other one is into music and instrument and singing, and she does hockey, almost all the sports she does them. And my other one is into netball, and she really likes netball. And there is no much of basketball here in South Africa, but I would also want to ask in that regard. And in terms of buying instrument, would I have to buy instrument for them when they are in Finland for high school? Thank you.
I hope I'm able to remember all the questions, but at least there was a question about, and there has been in the chat as well, how to apply and what to do, how to get into our educational program. I think, Tammy, do you have some materials more about this? But I can tell shortly that we have products at the moment that the first one is called Fresh, which is an online program that will take 12 months altogether. And it doesn't mean that you have to study 12 months before you can apply to Finland. There is not that kind of like, I would say that roughly it's 17 weeks plus 17 weeks that you are So 9 months, which makes the same time that you give birth to a baby after the baby is conceived. So it's easy to remember after that. So 9 months roughly is the time now that we have to achieve the level B11. But we continue supporting because intermediate level is only the beginning. It's only the beginning to really get into the language. It is a level that you can manage daily things. You can understand already many things in the high school. You can pick up the topic, but there's a lot of details that will go just past you at the same time. So we have Fresh, and then we have also a product called Fast, which is a 6-month program. And 6 months program, there's 2 months first online learning, 4 to 5 times per week. And then after that, students arrive to Finland. And there is intensive program of 4 months in Finland. And this product, why I think it is, it depends, like different people have different opinions. So if you still are in school, for example, you can't leave your home country, then definitely the Fresh could be the product for you. But if you are ready to take the leap and come to Finland as soon as possible, then definitely the Fast is a good program. I think personally that I'm very much for online programs, but especially for young people, it is better to be engaged with the learning, with the peers and with everyone like that are nearby. And it is a great experience as well. So they learn 4 months online in a boarding school. So we take care of them if they are minors. At the moment, we have this Fast product only for high schoolers, but we will have it for vocational school as well. There was a question about in the chat about the vocational program as well. I'm happy to tell more about that soon. And then there was a question about, yes, the safety. So Finland is very safe country. It is safe to walk in the streets here. It is very safe as a woman also to be around. I'm not saying that there is no bad people or that there is no racism or anything like this. Bad people exist everywhere in the world. Bad things happen everywhere in the world. But the places where people will go, like these cities are very small in Finland compared to many other big cities. And the dangers, people in Finland are very honest. So most likely, if you lose your wallet, for example, if I'm here at the railway station and I lose my wallet, I might get it back. There is very high odds that I will get it back. Someone is finding it and returning it to somewhere, and I will not lose a dime. So, and these places where our students go to, if they are minors, there's always a guardian from school that take really good care of our students. And some of the schools have done like many things on their free time as well. They have like a Finnish family they can have some activities with during the weekends and so on. So I understand fully as a mother as well that there is a huge, like, how to say, we always worry for our kids. So if I'm sending, I just today, when I arrived to Helsinki with my oldest son, who is 13 years old now, and I put him in a bus to go to next city, of course, always you worry a bit that where they are, how they are. But also kids learn independency in very different way here. And about safety, I would say one more thing, that when I moved back living in China and then in the UK, and I moved to Sweden, I remember I was thinking that that how will my kids go to school and so on if we live here? And there was this one lady saying to me, but they can go by subway by themselves. And I was in a shock. But then I remembered that, yes, it's true. That is what kids do in Finland and Sweden. They go in a subway to school. So that is fully normal. And then there was question about the instruments. So many schools have instruments. I'm not saying that all the schools have all the instruments in the world, but they do have some instruments. There's also usually this kind of like special schools for music. And those schools that have like special school for music, they also have equipment to rent or to loan for them as well. So many of the hobbies are very well supported in Finland and not as expensive as in many other places in the world. Then shortly about the vocational program. So vocational program here in Finland, it is meant for adults. So you must be 18 years old to apply to vocational school. Great thing about Finnish vocational school is that it is so-called competence-based evaluation, which means that you can show what you know. And one thing also that is good about the Finnish vocational school is that I would dare to say that it is so good that if you have, like, for example, you learn to be like build houses in Finland. In Finland, we have cold winters, so we have to have really good houses that they are warm, they are nice, and they are cozy, and they are good quality. So with that education system, what we have in vocational schools, I would say that they are valid all over the world as well. About vocational school, more so that we didn't mention here, that why we do this actually is also not only to give a chance to people to all over the world to come. In Finland, we have huge lack of people. We have all the resources, best teachers we have, but we are lacking people. Finnish people are getting old, they are dying. We have huge lack of workforce. We don't have enough people here. We have quite a big country. If you think about the area, how much land space we have, but we don't have many people. So definitely that is something that we want to do as well. Okay, now I will turn to someone else to speak and check the chat a bit as well.
Yeah, actually, we have a lot of questions in the chat, Raisa. I think it's mostly the questions for you. There's a person asked about the educational system process.
Yes, okay, let me open the chat at the same time to see it. Okay, super. So thank you for sending this information. So we have agencies in different countries where you can contact as well people there. And okay, there's a nursing vocational training program. I will be happy to cover that. What is the sum of required fee, and is it affordable for developing countries? Well, that is a good question. So what is exactly affordable in developing countries? I would say that our program is, maybe it is not the cheapest, but at the same time, if it gives you possibility, it is cheaper than 1 year in private school in the UK. And you will get with that money your university degree and everything. So I would say that it depends what you compare it to. So is it a good amount or not? Do you have, Tammy, some kind of like sheet of our products? More about that. Then there was a vocational program. Age limit to finish education. Yeah, please go ahead, Tammy.
I think I have some information I can share with you, but you can go ahead
Super.
with all the questions. After that, I will share.
Yes.
After you're sharing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And okay, so there isn't actually many, so I will cover these, and then Tammy can continue more in details about the products and the pricing and so on. And please contact the agencies as well about this. So age limit for Finnish. Yes.
Raisa, sorry, this is Rogers from Examnet, one of the finest future agents in Africa.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah,
I remember you, of course.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to make a small clarification before you proceed. I see there's a bit of a confusion looking at the different questions on the chatbot that I think they need to know the tuition fees for the schools, the high school and the vocational school, which is completely free.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I
Yes.
think the clarification which is needed is that to be able to get into the Finnish education system, either high school or vocational school, you first have to learn language, and in this case, through Finnish Future program. Now, the Finnish language course is that you have to pay for, but after you complete and you are able now to go to do schooling in Finland, whether is high school or vocational school, that is completely tuition free. I just wanted to make that clarification. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Definitely very good point. I didn't realize that, so my bad. Yes, everything that Mr. Rogers said here is definitely true. So the Finnish education, when you speak Finnish or Swedish, after that, there is no tuition fee. Like I mentioned earlier, that we don't have private schools, they don't take tuition. What Anna here as well mentioned. So that is very true, that you will, for example, get a laptop during your studies. Yes, you need to most likely return it, but you will get it during the studies. There is no tuition fee for that. So, but you will need to learn the language and apply for the program. So for that, please contact our agencies in your country. And there was, yes, about the vocational program a bit more. And there was the age limit question as well. So to come to Finnish high school, you would need to be under 18. And to come to vocational training, you would need to be over 18. Otherwise, there is no age limit in that sense. The only thing really that you will need to do is to learn Finnish or Swedish language. And for the vocational program, is the accommodation covered? For our products, that what we are doing fresh and fast. For the fast, yes, it is covered, like meaning the training before going to school. But we don't have like during when you are studying, we don't have boarding school, so you will need to rent a house. But we have many partners that you can contact and that you can find the apartment, and the schools will help as well with that. Yes.
Yeah, as you guys may have a lot of questions related to the programs as Finnish Future, I think it's time for me to talk a little bit about our programs right now. Actually, it's the master brochure at Finnish Future. I can send it to you guys after this webinar if you would like to have more time to take a look at this information. But anyway, I will go through to the fresh and fast. As you can see, Raisa mentioned a lot about these programs. Fresh, we will learn Finnish and Swedish online with the comfort zone at your own house. And after that, after reaching the level of B1.1, you will have time to apply to schools in Finland. We have about 12 months to learn Finnish or Swedish. Either Finnish or Swedish, you can apply to school in Finland for free, as Raisa and some people may know and may said about this one. After that, in the fast, as you can see, like fast is the faster program more than the fresh program. You just need take 6 months to learn Finnish. You will have 2 months to stay Finnish at your home. And after that, you will have 4 months to stay in Finland to get through this, to practice this language and talk to Finnish to like improve more about your language ability. I think it's all the thing that I would like to say. Raisa, do you want to have more thing to add?
Not at the moment. There was a question about do we have agency in Ethiopia? So yes, we do. And there's a lot of questions as well that remain unanswered in this webinar. And unfortunately, I need to also drop out for today, but I would love to speak with everyone more about this. And I'm sure that there will be more webinars that we are hosting. And I believe that, Tammy, that we have also, oh, what is happening? I'm frozen there, am I?
Yeah, we still
For
can
the
hear
funny,
you. Okay.
what a funny picture of me.
Yeah, a lot of.
That's great. Yes. So so I would be very happy to talk with everyone more about this. And I think we have the contact information of people. So, and I think there is some place that people can contact us and our agencies as well after this webinar. So thank you
Yes.
on my side.
Yeah, I think it's time for me to share with you guys about our upcoming events. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us as hello@finishfuture.org. We can reply to all our questions. Now, as you can see here, we will have next webinar to talk about Finnish culture shocks. I promise to get you guys, this is also the interesting topic that we would like to share with you. I will invite some students who are living in Finland to share about this topic. And we are also have an on-site event in Ho Chi Minh City this July. So if you are interested and you are in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, please scan this QR code to register for the event, because we just have 50 exclusive tickets for free for everyone to register to join the event. We will have parents, students, and some students who are coming back to Vietnam this summer to share about their experience as well. And the last but not least, if you have any questions about our programs, about Finnish Future or anything, please contact us as hello@finishfuture.org. We can reply to all questions. Now, I think it's time for you to end this webinar. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you guys have a great day whichever countries. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.